if I could perhaps begin with Ambassador On and just ask about your thoughts on the Korea-U.S. relationship as it stands now and going forward.
Well, as a matter of fact, as I came in, I just came to recognize the presence of Ambassador Winston Lord, Mr. Tom Nagorski, and then Dr. Donald Jagoria. And then one thing I have to, and then other friends as well, like McChrystal, as you already recognized. And then something I should be telling you is this, which is that I feel very young once again this afternoon. Why? Because this is something I already told Professor Jagoria. I began to work for the Korean government back in 1978. And somehow the first office I was put to work, it was the US desk, American desk. And almost one of the first things I happened to do was to receive Donald and Janet. The name of your wife is Janet, right? Janet Jagoria. And at the time, Dr. Jagoria, maybe you still do that. Dr. Jagoria used to teach at Hunter College and then came to visit Korea 36 years ago. 36 years ago. And then after 36 years, then I became ambassador to the United States, Korean ambassador to the United States. And I look upon Professor Jagoria, still young, still looking powerful, still looking very bright. So that, I think, is among other reasons, is the reason why I feel so young once again. But extending upon this theme of 36 years young, well, I guess that applies perfectly to the relationship we have between Korea and then the United States. Last year, 2013, it was a milestone year in the Korea-U.S. relationship. Why? Because it was the year of 60th anniversary of the security alliance between Korea and then the United States. And then it has been an amazing 60 years in the sense that during that period of time, then of course, I don't have to explain it all to you. You are such good friends of Korea, so you know it already. I mean, industrialization, democratization, finding its place as a member of the international community, all of it was done in 60 years' time. And it's just amazing. And I think when I tell you that in Korea, large number of people think that it would not have been possible without this firm friendship we enjoy between Korea and then the United States. When I say it, then of course I say it for myself, but at the same time, I think I say it for 50 million people who are back in Korea. So thank you so much. And what the reason why I said it is 60 years young is because after 60 years, there is no sign it is getting tired. I think it is very strong, still very strong. And the reason why I think it is very strong is because through those 60 years, Korea-US relationship, it became wider, it became deeper, it became richer, and it continued to renew itself. So when President Obama came to visit Korea this time, I said to myself, what must be the theme of this President Obama's trip to Korea? I said to myself, it should be reviewing and renewing the 60-year relationship between Korea and then the United States. And then that's what we are resolved to do for the coming 60 years. And in order to do that, we, in fact, will need your continued support and friendship. So thank you so much for being here this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador Kim.
I would agree with everything Ambassador An said, including feeling young. I actually had the privilege of working for Ambassador Lord when I was a very junior person in the State Department. I've obviously learned very well because I'm the U.S. ambassador to Korea at this point. Also had the privilege of working with Professor Zagoria when I was working in the six-party talks process. So it's good to see Professor Zagoria as well. President Obama, as you know, had a very productive visit to Korea, and I think it really symbolized the strength of the relationship between our two countries. This is one of the most special partnerships we have anywhere, and it's evident in the military partnership, probably one of the most effective military partnerships we have anywhere. In our mutually beneficial economic partnership, we're very much focused on full implementation of the historic free trade agreement, which should bring great benefits to both countries, companies in both countries, and consumers in both countries. Our partnership is becoming more global, which is not at all surprising when you consider that Korea itself is becoming much more global. So we're finding new areas of cooperation, expanding our cooperation on many issues of common concern to the two countries and indeed the international community. Another very important aspect of the relationship is what we call people-to-people ties, and I think this is where all of us are relevant. The bond between Americans and Koreans are very deep, and I think it really holds us together tightly, and it transcends politics and economics. And so, as Ambassador An mentioned, we celebrated a very important milestone last year. We should be very proud of what we've accomplished together, but I think we should be even more excited about what's possible in the future in terms of expanding our cooperation on a global level and in the deepening and strengthening ties between Americans and Koreans.